Hi everybody, namaste. Welcome to yoga. My name is Kirsten. We're going to do a kind of a fun type of class today. So it's going to be a combination of an active beginning of the class and then cooling down and slowing down and doing some restorative, really relaxing poses in the end. So this might be a great practice for practicing at the end of the day when maybe you've got some energy and wanting to kind of wind down before bed. It's also, this time of year, it's starting to be warm out, starting to get towards late spring, early summer. I find this always gives me a lot more energy for some reason. It must be the sun out and all the activity. So sometimes it's nice to match that energy and then also bring it down so that we have a chance to relax and recover as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So standing on the mat, inhale, bring your arms up overhead, looking up toward the ceiling, palms together, and exhale, draw a straight line down through your center, right to heart center, and release the hands by your sides. Good, inhale, arms up overhead, palms together, and exhale, drawing the palms down, and release. And one more time, inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, palms down through the center. Good, and release. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms together. This time, leaving the right hand up in the air, drop the left hand down by your side and lean over, side stretch. Good, arms back up and switching sides, leaning over to the right. Good, arms back up. And exhale, draw the hands down through center and release. Excellent. Inhale, bring the arms out to a T, reaching the fingertips to either edge of the room as if you could reach the walls, reaching. Good. And now turn the fingertips down toward the floor. And keep breathing. Good, fingertips up toward the ceiling, press away. Good, fingertips back to a flat position. And now wringing the shoulders. So twisting one shoulder forward, the other back, allowing the palms to follow. And then switch. And switch. And switch, as if it's like you're wringing out a washcloth. And switch one more time. And bring both the palms back to face the floor. Good, now bring some movement into the arms, kind of like flapping your wings. And allow the arms to fall back by your sides. Good, now we're going to do a series of 12 sun salutations. So hear me out. This is totally doable. Normally we do maybe 2 or 3 in a class, but there is a tradition in yoga of doing up to 108 sun salutations to note the changing of the seasons. So on the various solstices and equinoxes, sometimes people will practice up to 108 sun salutations, and it's a lot, but it's doable. So we're going to do 12 today just to see kind of what that feels like. We'll do groups of 3 and we'll go nice and slow. So definitely take it at your own pace. We've got some options too. So let's go through once really slowly. We can talk about the different options for sun salutation, and then we'll get into a little bit of a flow. So stepping to the short edge of your mat. The first step is to inhale, arms go up overhead, and we can either draw the arms out to the side if that feels good, or if that's too much on the shoulders, you can always raise your hands up past your ears. And the second step would be a dive forward. So you can either, again, swan dive the arms out to the side, or if that doesn't feel good on the shoulders, palms together, draw them down, straight line down the center, and forward fold, reaching toward the toes. Next step is an inhale. Hands come to your shins, looking forward at half lift, flat back. Next step is an exhale. Hands go back down toward the floor, drop the head. Now plant the hands on the floor, and on the inhale, we're going to step both of the feet back, so we're in a plank position. And we can pause here for a moment, and on the next exhale, we're going to lower chaturanga. So you can either lower the whole body together toward the floor, or if that's not comfortable on the arms, you can lower your knees, and then chest and chin down to the floor. Next step, inhaling, using the hands to press the shoulders up off the mat, cobra. And this does not have to be a big movement. You can definitely, if your back is feeling really flexible, you can push kind of way up into an upward dog, but just a little baby cobra is fine too. And then we come back down. And we're gonna move into downward dog. So you can tuck your toes, lift your hips, go straight up into downward dog. Or again, we can take it a little bit slower, come up onto the knees in tabletop. And then tuck the toes, press the hips up, downward facing dog. And we'll pause here just for a moment, allowing the heels to fall toward the floor. Breathing. Dropping the head toward the floor. Maybe this first time, nod the head yes. And shake the head no. Releasing the neck. Pressing the weight out of the hands into the heels. Good. And when we're ready, we'll step forward with one foot, step forward with the other foot. Half lift, flat back. Once again, hands come to the shins. And exhaling, forward fold. And on the inhale, we will roll the spine nice and slow, coming all the way back up to stand. Head is the last thing to come up. Roll the shoulders, open the palms to face forward, Tadasana. So if you can get into a good breath pattern, there is a great flow you can establish. So inhaling, exhaling with each movement. So let's try that again. We'll inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. And exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back to a plank. Inhale. And exhale, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release back down. Tuck the toes. Inhale, lift up to downward facing dog or all fours. And exhale, pause, downward dog. And hold. 5 breaths here. With each inhale, filling up the lungs, and with each exhale, relaxing the backs of the legs, relaxing into this downward dog. Good. When you're ready on your next inhale, step forward. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, round the back, rolling the spine all the way up to stand. Roll the shoulders, open the palms, exhale, Tadasana. Good, one more time, and I guess I didn't demonstrate this the first time, but you can swoop your arms down, around, and forward if that makes sense to move the first time instead of going out or up past the ears. So lots of choices there. I think I just kind of did that the second time without thinking. So pick your movement. So third time here, inhale, arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back, and exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, inhale, step back to plank, and exhale, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, come back down. Inhale, tuck the toes, and come up to the knees if you'd like to, and exhale, downward facing dog. And 5 rounds of breath. Pressing the weight into the heels, dropping the heels toward the floor. If the heels don't want to reach the floor, maybe bend the knees. Bring a nice generous bend to the knees. This will help press the weight out of the arms and the wrists. Good, stepping forward. And inhale, flat back, look forward, half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, round the spine, bend the knees a little bit to help come up nice and slow. Head is the last thing to come up. Open the palms to the front of the room. Tadasana, mountain pose. Excellent. So that was 3 rounds. We're a quarter of the way done. Excellent job. If you want to take a break, get a drink, that's fine. Otherwise, we will move into the next set. All right. Finding your stance, Tadasana. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, inhale, step back. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, tuck the toes, come up to the knees if you'd like to. And exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Making some space between the shoulders and the ears. So even though we're kind of upside down, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Nice strong shoulders, nice strong core. Stay with the breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Good, step forward. Flat back, look forward, inhale, and exhale, fold. Bend the knees just a little bit, and inhale, roll up to stand, Tadasana. That's number 4. Excellent. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, come back down. Inhale, tuck the toes, come to the knees if you like. And exhale, press all the way up and back, downward facing dog. 5 rounds of breath. Good, stepping forward. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll the spine, come all the way up to stand. Tadasana. That was 5. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, tuck the toes, come up to hands and knees if you'd like to. And exhale, downward facing dog. Rotate the arms so that the insides of the elbows face forward toward the short edge of the mat, the front of the mat. What this does is helps the shoulder blades move down the back just a little bit, helps provide some stability in the shoulders, helps with that external rotation that we all need. Good, stepping forward. Inhale, flat back, half lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to stand. Tadasana. That was 6. Excellent. Let's take a little break, get a drink of water, shake out those wrists, maybe stretch, maybe reach the arms out, do whatever you need to do. Take a break, sit down, pause the video if you want to. Let's give it a minute. All right, my friends, we're halfway done. Let's come back to the short edge of the mat. Number 7. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, tuck the toes, come up to the knees. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing. Dropping the heels, creating space between the ears and the shoulders. Pressing the fingertips into the mat will also bring some of the weight out of the wrists and palms. Good, now stepping forward with the feet. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to stand. Tadasana. That was 7. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, tuck the toes. And exhale, downward facing dog. And stepping forward with the feet. Inhale, flat back, half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, round the spine. Roll all the way back up to stand. Tadasana. That was 8. Excellent. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plank. And exhale, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, come back down. Inhale, prepare, tuck the toes, come up onto the knees. And exhale, downward facing dog. The legs should be feeling a little bit more warmed up and loose now, but maybe just for fun, try bending one knee, really stretching that opposite leg a little bit more, feeling a different kind of stretch in that leg. And then switch, bend the opposite knee, straighten the first one. And switch again. And switch again. And straighten both legs. And step forward. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll the spine all the way up to stand. Tadasana. All right, my friends, that was 9. So let's take another break. We'll have one more set of 3 after this break. All right, our final set of sun salutations. Take a step to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. And exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come back down. Tuck the toes, inhale, come up to the knees. And exhale, downward facing dog. Rotating the elbows forward, the insides of the elbows forward. Creating space between the shoulders and the ears. Good, step forward. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round the spine, come all the way up to stand. Tadasana. That was 10. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank. And exhale, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Upward dog, we come off the knees, so we're resting right on the tops of the feet. And exhale, come back down. Inhale, come up to hands and knees, tuck the toes. And exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Good, stepping forward. Inhale, flat back, half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, round the spine, come all the way up to stand. And exhale, Tadasana. And that was 11. One more. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, plank. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. And exhale, come back down. Inhale, tuck the toes, come up to hands and knees. And exhale, downward dog. Now pick whichever variation you found comfortable for downward dog. So rotating the elbows, maybe bending one knee and the other, bending both knees. Nod the head yes, shake the head no. Do whatever feels comfortable in this last downward dog. Good. When you're ready, step forward. Inhale, flat back, half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, round the spine. Come all the way up to stand. Exhale, Tadasana. Excellent job. That was 12 sun salutations. Wonderful. All right, so take another break if you'd like. Get a drink of water. Meet me back on the mat when you are ready. All right, friends, so come back, meet me on the mat. Standing about in the center of the mat is fine. Bring the feet right together. So big toes touch, ankles touch, inseams of the feet touch, if that's the word we use for that. If this is really uncomfortable, you can totally just take about a hip width stance away as well. So find a comfortable stance, either feet together or just slightly apart. I'm going to stand in Tadasana for a minute and really just feel into this stillness. So this is a sort of standing relaxation, right? So lift all 10 toes up off the floor, maybe wiggle them a little bit, and then plant them back down. Notice the weight evenly distributed in the toes, the balls of the feet, the heels. Good, give the shoulders a couple of circles and let them fall down away from the ears, palms face forward. Notice the crown of the head growing nice and tall toward the ceiling. Long spine, long neck. Draw the belly button in toward the spine. Notice the breath. So we might be a little out of breath after all that work, and that's okay. Starting to slow the breathing, nice deep inhales through the nose and nice deep exhales through the nose. Good. On your next inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Palms together and draw a straight line down the middle. Back down to center and release the palms. Good, inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, draw a line back down. One more time, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, palms back down. Good, inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, side stretch, drop the left hand to left side, leaning over. Good, arms back up. And other side. Good, hands back up. And release the arms back down by the sides. Good job. Take a little bit wider than hip width stance. Turn the toes out, heels in, and start to, actually I might need to widen just a little bit more. We're gonna go into a wide squat. So start to bend the knees and really come down. You might wanna come just halfway down, so maybe into like a goddess pose if that's comfortable for you, but see about coming all the way down into a wide squat, and you might need to play around with your feet a little bit. It's hard to judge where they want to be once you actually get down. Perfect, hands together at heart center, dropping the tailbone toward the floor. Nice deep breaths, inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Excellent. Now use the hands to press up if you need to. Come all the way back up to stand. Heel toe the feet back together and Tadasana. Excellent. Now for our second part of class, we're going to do some restorative cool down poses. I highly recommend grabbing some sort of bolster, cushion, large pillow, something with a little bit of solidness to it. So this is the bolster I have. Also, if you don't have a bolster or a really solid pillow, even just a stack of like folded up towels or blankets would work. So something we can use to give us some support for our ending restorative poses. So take a minute to run and grab whatever you might need for that. And when you're ready, come back, meet me back on the mat, and make your way to sit back down or sit down on the mat. So in your own time, bringing it down and sitting back on the heels, hero pose, knees bent. Hands can rest on the hips or on the thighs. Dropping the tailbone, nice long spine. Starting to cool down. Breathing through the nose. Excellent. Grab your bolster or pillows. We'll move into our first restorative pose. So this is Supta Baddha Konasana, which is supine butterfly, so reclined, leaning back butterfly pose. What we're gonna do is bring the bolster right behind the seat. So come to sit on the mat, bring that bolster right up to that lower back, tailbone area. You might need to hold the bolster in place and start to lean back onto the bolster. Good. If this is too low, you can also grab something else solid, like a big book or another bolster or something, and create a sort of a reclined angle like that. So we've got one going this way, the other leaning up on it. Play around with building that kind of structure. Again, the bolster comes right to the low back and lean back. All right, take your time getting into this pose. Once you're leaning back, bring the soles of the feet together, knees out to the sides, butterfly pose. And we're gonna stay here for quite a few minutes. So if you need to grab more props, make yourself comfortable, really don't hesitate. With restorative poses, we want to be as comfortable as possible. So we don't want to feel any sort of like stretch or strain, especially after we've been working so hard. It's really easy to overstrain and overstretch. So we really want to be supported and just find relaxation with these poses. So once you're ready, leaning back, allowing the palms to face up, helping the shoulders to open. Allowing the eyes to close or soften the gaze down past your nose. And noticing the breath, noticing the inhale and the exhale. Just focusing on the nice deep inhales, filling up your lungs, filling up your belly. And the exhale, letting go of tension, letting go of old air. Inhale, nourishing the body, and exhale, relaxing the body. We'll stay in this pose for a few minutes. Just listen to the music, listen to the sound of your breath. The work we've done today is amazing. Sun salutations are a lot harder than they look sometimes, so give yourself kudos, give yourself a lot of props, and send yourself a lot of love for doing all that work, and also send yourself a lot of kudos and love for taking this time to embrace relaxation. Letting go of tension, allowing the muscles of the face to relax. Allowing the jaw to relax. Drop the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Allow the shoulders to relax, and the hands and the fingers. Allow the legs to relax. If this is too strong on the knees, if you're finding this is uncomfortable, you can place some additional pillows or rolled up blankets underneath the knees. Once again, we've got plenty of time if you need to go grab any more props just to place them right underneath the knees for support. That's a great idea. We'll stay here in silence, listening to the music, listening to the sound of our breath. And if you find your mind starting to wander, just bring it back to the breath. Bring it back to a sense of relaxation. Remind the face to relax and the shoulders to relax. Starting to bring awareness back into the space. Starting to deepen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. Bring some movement into the fingers and toes. And allowing the eyes to come flutter open. And to get out of this position, use the hands to draw both the knees up together. And then we're going to roll very, very carefully to one side or the other. So I don't want to just go straight up. It's a little too intense. So roll over off the bolster and use the arms to press up to a seat. Excellent. Our next pose is going to be a supported deer pose. So you can certainly keep the same bolster setup you've got. We'll give you plenty of time to play around with. Do you want one bolster, two, or towels or pillows or whatever you've got handy. So for deer pose, staying kind of basically right where we were, bend both knees. So both knees are facing the same direction, facing toward the bolsters. For me, this is my right leg. So my right foot is right up against the left thigh. That's our deer pose. And the bolster is right against the outside of the right thigh. I might need to kind of scoot a little bit closer, right nice and close to that bolster. And then twist, turn to face the bolster. And walk the hands along the mat, coming carefully down into a reclined position, dropping that right ear to the mat or to the bolster. If you like, I think this direction is probably most comfortable for me, but depending on how much your spine wants to twist today, you could even play around with twisting with the opposite, the left side of the face down to the bolster. So play around with that. Once again, you can get rid of the second bolster if you want it lower. I think I like the height today, so I'm going to leave mine exactly the way it is. And coming down into a deer pose, hands can be on either side of the bolster, just resting on the floor, palms down. So starting to settle in, a lot of the same thoughts that we had in our last position. So noticing anywhere that the body might be holding tension, allowing the body to release, relax the face, relax the shoulders, the back. This is our twist. So I like to incorporate a back bend of sorts, which we did with the reclined butterfly. Like to incorporate a twist, so we'll do this deer twist pose on either side, and then we like to do a forward fold also, so kind of let the spine go all different directions and have all sorts of mobility and relaxation. Staying with the breath. If you need to play around with the legs a little bit, maybe scooting around, trying to get really comfortable. Again, the idea is to be fully comfortable. There shouldn't be any stretching or straining. There should be full body relaxation. Inhale, nourishing the body, filling the body up with oxygen. And exhale, relaxing, letting go of tension, letting go of old air. To notice your body regaining any tension, just allow it to relax. Maybe checking in with the shoulders and the hips and the legs and the hands. Good, starting to bring awareness back into the room. Deepen the inhale, lengthen the exhale. Flutter the eyes open, and using the hands, press up to a seat. Nice and slow. And we'll just switch sides. So switching the legs so the knees are facing the opposite direction. You can leave the bolsters directly where they are. And just scoot your left side or opposite side up to the bolsters. Turn to face the bolsters and walk the hands along the floor, coming slowly down to deer pose on the other side. Starting to bring awareness back into the room, deepening the inhale and lengthening the exhale. Flutter the eyes open, and in your own time, using the arms to press up, come back up to a seated position. Good. Our last restorative pose is a child pose, so should be able to leave the bolsters approximately where they are. Might want to get rid of the lower one so you can play around again with what's comfortable. So come to sit up on the heels. Bring the knees nice and wide as the yoga mat. We'll do a wide child pose. So kind of scoot up so that the bolster is right between the knees. And walk the hands along the mat. Come to lean on the bolster, turning one cheek or the other down. And if this is too high, you can remove the bottom bolster. You might need to kind of scoot everything a little bit closer for good support. So really play around with getting comfortable once again. Find that really, really comfortable, supported, restorative child pose. But without moving too much, we're just going to switch the face to face the opposite way. So gently pressing up with the hands and just turn the head so the opposite cheek rests on the bolster. Good. Starting to bring awareness back into the room. Lengthening the inhale, lengthening the exhale. Flutter the eyes open. And pressing up with the hands. Come all the way up to a seat. Sitting cross-legged. You can even sit on the bolster if that's comfortable. Bring the hands together at heart center. Really feeling that balance of the left and right hemisphere. The balance of effort and ease. We really exaggerated that today with the 12 sun salutations, really hard work, and then the deep relaxation restorative poses. So I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Everybody be well. Namaste.